me speak here. Try not to. There's a microphone here. Not to. Yeah. This takes the sound. Yeah.
Yeah, just before we get to question for the audience, I just want to ask, was that made as a companion piece to the other film, or was it made before or after? Or
I made it after, because I want to make this film because they didn't believe me that these punks were exist in Turkey. Even the Turkish people, they were like saying, no, come on, Turkey punk, it doesn't exist. Like, I say, all right, man, like I'm gonna make this film, otherwise they were not gonna get it. I mean, I am so happy that ID magazine released one of the biggest articles that is written about anything about Istanbul and Turkey. And so that they were shocked, the Turkish people, like, oh, really? Punks? Yeah, punks, you know? And it was like, these people are really, like, you saw them, like, they are normal, very, like, very young people. I mean, you know, they just want to like this music. Because of 3 cassettes, they changed their life, literally, that's the true story. They find 3 cassettes.
It's pre-internet, so
yeah. And there was this guy, Eloy Cafe. It's in Bakırköy, which is where I came from. I came from Merter. And this is the strange thing that I want to share with you all. And I feel very emotional even right now. All my life, I was listening bands from Sheffield. I'm a huge fan of Cabaret Voltaire, like huge. I love like Human League and all that. But like I was like into Cabaret Voltaire stuff a lot. And then I was talking with my brother, like, man, like we are like Sheffield here, you know. They're just industrial buildings. In Merter, it's just industrial right now. It's just textile companies. And then I was like saying to myself, like, this is just like Sheffield, and just like we just have factories and we have good music. And most of the cool punk bands, like the first one, they all came from Merter, Bakırköy, and Ataköy. These are the neighborhood of Istanbul where the middle class families were first resident. They only buy a house there at that time because it was a little bit far out the city. Now it's the city, by the way. We are in the center. But at that time in the 90s, it was like far out the center. So anyway, yeah, like I just want to share that.
Okay, great. So, anybody got questions?
Any questions or? Yeah.
What does your dad think of your ambitions to go into film?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I study design and marketing, and when I first get into the school, they had a talk, and because my uncle talked with him that like I might not gonna get rich or money, but very strangely, I become one of the most well-paid person in my own family. till I'm 22 years old, I always get the highest check. I mean, the world is changing. I'm telling them right now you need to be an artist in order to make money. I'm sorry, those 9 to 6 jobs is going to be over with the automation. It's going to be more and more over. That's what I was saying to my father, and he's agree with me now. So he loves that I'm into my passion. But always, you know, the classical father figure is always like, are you sure you are going to save? And I'm saying, like, we are in the long run game. I believe in the long run. And it's very important to do your passion, because I saw it in him when he didn't do his passion. When he becomes a 60 years old guy, he becomes an unreasonable person. And that curse, that need to do that artistic things follows you when you don't do it. You need to follow your passion. I saw it with my own father. So that's why I stopped everything. I was running a fashion company, which is a very good one and very famous one. And I stopped this, and I go on to take on my journey because I want to do my passion. That's why I want to do films.
Okay. I'm thinking, as the punk situation spread into the villages,
Yeah.
to any degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So generally now all over the country is that feeling that's coming through. Yeah.
What kind? Like, can you?
That punk, you know, the living the punk ideal.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
Is it repressed though, or is it?
That's Yeah, this is right now, like, especially most of my friends even, they didn't accept the amount of media coverage that I receive. I become a huge hit in my own country, by the way. Nobody was expecting that. Like, I was literally in 5 different newspapers, headline in the same day, like literally, like with my gala, for example. Nobody was expecting this kind of attention. But I think this world, very strangely, I don't know, I want to get your opinion about this further on too. Yeah, things are getting weird and weird nowadays. But I don't know if you noticed that punk music is getting rebirth, or people who has attitude is getting, like, it's a very strange time. Like in the last 15, 20 years, there were not, like, it was always declining. And now I am seeing a more and more rebellious people, like very weird things going on. It's not just about the music. The punk is, that's what I'm always into. Punk is not a music. That's what I was trying to tell to people. Punk is not a music genre. It's a behavior. I was telling to people, Luddites, like, how do you say in I always say it wrong. Luddites, yeah, in the 18th century, they were punk. They were so punk, like I put it into my website. When you go on, it starts with their picture. They were killing, they were smashing machines, you know. And I was like into these things so much that, like, right now, I think it's a perfect time for being punk. It's perfect time.
So you would say it's in the mythical villages. Is that what you're asking?
No, he was just like taking in general, yeah. 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 I think I answered.
Okay.
Any questions?
4 more questions.
Yeah, like, I know. I can talk like hours, yeah. Yeah, man.
Do you think the punk ideology would have come about without the internet in Istanbul?
Yeah, it existed.
Yeah, but I guess the film you showed just now shows lots of bands and playing Western music. But what I'm asking is, how could you show those people that don't believe there is punk in Turkey that it exists without the music?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very tough question. Like, I'm just like, there are so many examples. That's why I put that record store scene. Those guys were, for example, not making punk music, but there were some mentionings. It was maybe hard for you to follow because it's just Turkish names. But most of them were very famous pop singers from 70s and 60s, like that guy with the butterfly, you know, and there was this Orhan Gencebay. I say that Orhan Gencebay is punk. These are really rebellious words for any Turkish people to hear, because Orhan Gencebay was making Turkish music, you know, but very classical Turkish music, you know, but his behavior was punk because he never made a live concert, for example. He believes that you only put that energy into the record, and it should stay there. So I cannot replay that anymore. And his words, I try to translate that. It's like Black Sabbath, man, like literally. Like if I convert his words to you, his Turkish music, it's like Black Sabbath, but it's not punk music. I was trying to give those kind of examples, but in terms of other behaviors, there are so many things. Turkish people is very well known by their do-it-yourself attitude. Like if you put, like, let me tell you an example. Like if you say that like there's a fire coming up outside of this building, any Turkish people will say, okay, cool, it's not going to affect you. They will be cool. The minute they saw fire here, they will react, like, you know. But the minute they saw the fire here, like burning this whole place, they can be so creative that you will lose your brain. Like they just need to see the last minute, like, you know. This is Turkish people, you know. But if you say them like, man, like there's a fire outside, it might gonna come up because the wind is here. You can explain them technically all this. No, man, it's not gonna come out. Relax. They will react like this. But the Turkish people has that do-it-yourself attitude a lot, and I love that. For example, that's how I make this film. I just tell to my friends that, like, I'm gonna shoot a movie, and they were like, really? Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it. And do you find the money? I will find it. Don't worry. And like, I made it, you know, and this spirit exists in our culture. It's all about believing yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe
Did I answer it?
I think what...
Am I understand correctly?
The idea that you kind of say that films are the punk film's important to you and your brother growing up, but it's part of an internal spirit. It's already there in Turkish culture.
Yeah.
It's been there for 2,000 years.
Yeah, because
years in the future. It's not actually a style of music. It's just an attitude.
We were nomads. We were nomad. Nomads were punk for me. Like, I don't know if you are familiar with nomad culture. They were literally doing everything by themselves, and they were just like riding the horse, and they were like on the way sorting out the things, you know. That's punk. Like you just like going on to a journey. You don't know what's going to happen, but you said like, okay, it's going to be cool, you know.
Well, I think it's a good point to end on the idea that nomads were punk. I think that's a very good spot to finish. So, thanks to Move. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's a really good line.
Thank you. Yeah.